By Dave Doyle, June 26, 2019, 1:45 p.m. Los Angeles. When Diego Sanchez has a microphone or camera in front of him, all bets are off. You never know where the original, The Ultimate Fighter, winner will take you when he decides to bare his soul, just that you're in the passenger seat, and you better buckle up for the ride. It's a part of the unique charm that has made the New Mexico native such a lasting presence on the UFC landscape. Sanchez's heartfelt self-appraisals match his frenetic style in the cage. Perhaps that's why even the most jaded observers had smiles on their faces when Sanchez looked like his old self as he mauled Mickey Gall in his last bout, a second-round TKO at UFC 235. On Monday, Sanchez, 29-11 MMA, 18-11 UFC, was in downtown LA for a media day to promote UFC 239, the July 6th card in Las Vegas, at which he'll face Michael Chiesa, 14-4 MMA, 8-4 UFC, who won TUF 15, and is considered a veteran in his own right these days, which in and of itself underscores Sanchez's longevity. And that's where Sanchez took things to a dark place. "I'll say this in this interview right now, I have a 5-year-old daughter, but I've given my life for this sport, and I'm ready to die in that cage," Sanchez told MMA Junkie during a one-on-one interview. "I'm literally ready to die in that cage. If I was to die in the cage, that would be a good death for me, you know. That's how much I love this sport." Most of Sanchez's quirks, like meditating outdoors during thunderstorms and blaming his UFC 171 loss to Miles Jury on eating bad quail eggs, come off as harmless eccentricity. But a 37-year-old who is about to have his 41st official professional fight, and gotten into who knows how many gym wars in his career, who suffered first-round knockouts in 3 out of 4 fights in 2016 and 2017, matter-of-factly talking about that one subject no one around the business wants to touch. That's something different. "I'm in this sport not to be a friend," Sanchez said, moments after acknowledging he's had a friendly relationship with Chiesa right up until they signed to fight. "I'm in this sport to dig a grave and to put Michael Chiesa in a body bag, and so, it's like that." And Nate Diaz has said it before, kill or be killed, and it really is, man. This is the gladiator, expletive. This isn't a sport. Anybody who thinks this is a sport is a fool. Then you hear Sanchez, in a separate interview, casually mention he walked out on the venerable Jackson Wink MMA gym in his hometown of Albuquerque, a camp with whom he is synonymous, just 3 weeks ago. "People are like, wow, what the hell, Diego? What are you thinking?" Sanchez said about his departure. "Well, I'm not only thinking. I'm feeling. That's a big part of who Diego Sanchez is. I don't think too much. I don't think it's good to think too much. I think you've got to feel. You've got to feel this, your gut. You've got to feel this part right here that's inside of you." Sanchez was respectful at Media Day, polite to everyone who approached him, and clearly believes what he says. But the voice in the back of your head wondering if Sanchez is okay gets a little louder as the conversation goes on, a 10-minute chat in which only 3 questions were asked. And Sanchez himself seems to anticipate what others might think. "I'm a ruthless killer, looking to put body bags in the dirt," Sanchez said. "And it is what it is, because they're not thinking, he's not thinking about me 20 years down the road and what my brain is going to be going through. They don't think about that. You journalists don't think, what about this dude 20 years down the road? When he's in the hospital getting a CT scan to make sure his brain ain't bleeding. You know, people don't understand, this is the real deal. We, and by we, I mean media and fans alike, valorize fighters like Sanchez. We had misty-eyed talking about how his fight of the year caliber brawls with the likes of Caro Parisian and Clay Guida, the latter of which will be inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame next week, turned us on to mixed martial arts. Sanchez is doing what he loves. He's doing what he knows. He proved last time out he still has something left to give. He remains one of the most authentic people you'll encounter in a business with too many shady characters, con men and flat-out liars. But still, you listen to Sanchez ramble about topics like the appeal of dying in the cage, and you can't help but wonder if the bills fighters have accumulated for our enjoyment are starting to come due sooner than we thought. For more on UFC 239, check out the MMA rumors section of the site. Breaking, Diego Sanchez, UFC 239, featured, news, UFC Let's Block Ads.